What's up, Hardbar Gang? Back with another video, and today we're gonna do top 10 NBA players with my boy Ishan back on the channel. Everything's been figured out, and today and his number 10 player is
Stephen Curry. When you look at last game from yesterday in Game 5 of the Finals, he was 0 for 9 from 3, and the Warriors still won. Now the Boston Celtics, they have to be good. I mean, right? They made the Finals, and that just shows that Curry has had a lot more help than a lot of other players that I have above him in my top 10. So that's why I have him. Also, 25.5 points per game is 14th in the league. He doesn't have any stat in the top 10 as well.
I agree. I say Stephen Curry, and I kind of say it for the same reason. His stats aren't very good. I guess he's one of the best three-point shooters of all time, and he broke the record, which is why probably people think he's higher than he actually is. And also, he hasn't played very great in the finals. His first two games were pretty good, but otherwise he hasn't been great, especially last night. And who's your number 9 player?
At number 9, I have John Morant. A lot of people might come at me for this. Honestly, John Morant is probably at 9 because he's more flashy. I mean, the team is not. When you look at the Grizzlies, other than Ja, they are not that good compared to Curry compared to the Warriors without Curry. The Warriors without Curry can still win. And Ja also produced better stats: 27 points per game, 6.7 assists, 5.7 boards per game. So I have Ja at 9.
Okay, I have Ja at 9. He's more athletic. He's still not a bad shooter. He has just a bunch of no ones on his team. Steven Adams isn't that good. Desmond Bane's decent. Zaire Williams is a no one. And Jaren Jackson. That's the only players I can even name on that team. Maybe Dylan Brooks, and that's about it. Who's your number 8 player?
At number 8, I have DeMar DeRozan. He averages 28 points per game. That's top 5 in the league, if I'm pretty sure. And he's just an all-around great player. He's one of those kind of players where there's no really outlandish flaw. We can take a look at Curry and Ja. They need help on defense. DeMar DeRozan has zero crazy flaw. So I have him at 8.
Okay, I agree. I say Tatum at 8. And that's because he's made it to the finals. His team isn't especially good like Curry's is. He might have Al Horford, Robert Williams, Jaylen Brown, but his point guard's not very good. Peyton Pritchard, he's not that great. Marcus Smart plays point guard? Okay. And he's a defensive player. And he's actually been really good in the finals. And who's your number 7 player?
Number 7, I have Nikola Jokic. I think this should be out. I think putting Jokic in the top 10 should be without question. If anything, in my opinion, I might have him a little low because he carried a team without their second or third best player. They have Aaron Gordon, who averages 14 points per game, and Will Barton, who averages 15 points per game, is their best players, and they are not reliable scorers. Jokic was I see a bunch of highlights in Jokic. He's sometimes in the final minutes, Jokic will put the team on the back, and that's why I have Jokic at 7.
Okay, I have Luka Doncic at number 7. I feel like if you look at his stats, he's averaging 29, 9, and 8. So that's about as best as you can put on the table. Also, the Mavs went to the Western Conference Finals. And, he just carried him pretty much all the way. And without a big man, too, to run pick and roll with him. He ISO'd pretty much all the way through. And, who's your number 6 player?
At number 6, I have Kawhi Leonard, one of the best defenders in the game. We're also assuming that everybody's healthy for this. So, Kawhi Leonard is one of the best defenders in the game. And you can also tell how the Clippers played. Even when they got Paul George, they still didn't even make the playoffs. They failed in the play-in twice. So, that's why I have Kawhi at 6.
I also have Kawhi at 6 for the same reason. He's one of the best defenders ever. And also, he was doubted a lot because they thought his offense was going to not be very good. He has one of the best mid-range I've ever seen behind DeMar and Chris Paul. He also he can shoot the ball. He can dunk. He's just an all-around stud player. The only thing I would say that's a flaw in his game is his passing. But small forwards don't pass that much. So
at number 5, this might be a little biased. I have Luka Doncic. 28, 9, and 9. Those are top 5 stats. And not to mention, even though the only bad thing that I look at Luka Doncic is his free throw, which is 74%, but that can easily be fixed. His 2-point percentage 52%, his 3-point percentage 35%, but it was almost 40 in 2022. And he took a team with no really great second man to the Western Conference Finals.
When Tim Hardaway was injured and he was your second option, who was our second option? Brunson, okay. He was not very good the year before that. So for me, number 5 is LeBron James. I feel like there might be bias. People put him at the top, which I do not agree. He scored a lot, but his team didn't even make the play-in. which is crazy because LeBron never misses the playoffs. LeBron averaged like 37-9 or something like that. He put up great stats, but the only reason he's lower for me is because of the team's success.
LeBron also didn't really have anybody good. Russell Westbrook was
Terrible.
slumping. And who else they even have? Dwight Howard.
AD tried to play and he couldn't play.
They had
He just sit in his chair like a grandma all day.
The AD had what's it called? AD was out the entire time. But number 4, I have Joel Embiid. Like, you're the best. You're the league leader in scoring. And if you're a league leader scoring and an MVP candidate, I have you at 4. The only reason why I don't have him higher is because team success. He didn't take the team too far, and sure, James Harden didn't do well, but if Embiid wanted to be further up, he would have done a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree with that. And for me, Embiid's also 4. I feel like he's also great defender, great rebounder. He's a great scorer. He just does everything well. The only thing I think he kind of lacks is the 3-point or the mid-range shot. I feel like he kind of lacks that a little bit, and the perimeter defense. That's the only thing that sets him back from being one of the best generational basketball players we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that's why I have him at 4. Who do you have at 3?
At number 3, I have LeBron James. 30 points per game for being and almost made the play-in. I don't care. He had literally no one. He had Russell Westbrook as his second man. And you see what Russell Westbrook does.
Hits the backboard over and over again.
Exactly. He has Russell Westbrook as his second man, and he was still able to not make the play-in, but I mean, he has no one.
Yeah, I have Kevin Durant at 3. He's just the best scorer I think that this generation has ever brought to us, and I'm so happy to see him play. And the only thing that I think he lacks is strength, and I feel like he's a good defender, good attacker, or bucket getter because he's one of the greatest. The only thing he lacks is assist and rebounds, I feel like, and he's very quick for being 7 foot. No matter what they say, he's not 6'9", 6'10", he's 7 foot. And who do you have at your number 2 spot?
At number 2, I have Kevin Durant. And you say he lacks an assist. 6 assists is still solid numbers, especially for his kind of caliber.
Okay,
6.4 assists. And the best part about Kevin Durant, you can practically put him at any position, and he'll still play at a really good caliber.
That's
like he's 7 foot. Let's all be real. He's 6'11", 7 foot. That's center size. Power forward, he can play that. Small forward, he can play that. Shooting guard and point guard, he has handles. He can play that. He can play any single position. If you have a weakness, Kevin Durant will fill it up.
That's true. Number 2 for me is Nikola Jokic. Why? If you win MVP, you have to be top 3. You have to. If you won the MVP, one of the greatest passing big man the league has ever seen, a second-round pick, the MVP, is the best story we've ever heard from a basketball player. He was second in rebounds. He was top 10 in points, and just an overall great player, and had just a bunch of no ones on his team. Did he make the play-in or playoffs?
Jokic, he lost in 5 to the Warriors.
Okay. Yeah. Who's your number 1 player?
At number 1, I think this is kind of obvious leading up to this. I have Giannis, 30 points per game, 11.6 rebounds, 6 assists. He can pass. He can get boards. He's one of the most dominating big mans in the NBA. And if he maybe started doing good earlier, he could have probably been one of the greatest.
Yeah, I also have Giannis at number 1. I feel like he's just probably the most dominant player in this era, like 2020 and up, 2015 and up, and he's just such a good basketball player. He can defend. He can just do everything. And that is our top 10 basketball players list. Hard Barb Gang out. And I forgot to mention, also go sub to VIP Highlights, which is his new channel, and it has pretty much the same content as this, but he also talks a lot about like the free agency types of stuff that I don't talk about. So if you need some free agency or something to cover up, just go to his channel and subscribe to him. Peace.